Good evening everyone, and welcome to a slightly delayed Gundam news. So without any further ado, a new month means a new Gunpla schedule. And we're kicking things off with a case of the Deja Vus on August the 3rd, which is either today or yesterday, depending on your time zone. Because for 660 yen, 5 US, you could get the option part set Gunpla 11, smoothbore cannon, or the option part set 12, large railgun, both of which are simple repackagings of the Iron-Blooded Orphans option set kits. And then for 2,750 yen, 19 US, there is the high-grade Gundam Amazing Barbs Loops, which is the regular version of the metallic version that was included with the Days of Birth single. So in one way or another, all of the kits released on this day were already available. But this isn't the case for the heavily anticipated Real Great RX-78-2 version 2.0. It'll be releasing on August the 10th, goes for 3,850 yen, 26 US, and will include all of the latest Real Great technology to really show us how far the Real Great line has come. Because I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that the Real Grades now are almost it's almost a completely different line compared to the first Real Grades that we got. So I'm expecting this to be an impressive build that will also remain an impressive build after the honeymoon period is over. Like, I remember being impressed with the Real Grade Strike Gundam when I first built it, but then, like, relatively soon after that, I got less impressed with it, let's say. And since we're on the topic of the Real Great RX-78-2 version 2.0, pre-orders on Premium Bandai have begun for the weapon set. It is slated for an August release, goes for 2,200 yen, which is around 14 US, and comes with the Super Napalm, a second Hyper Bazooka, a Beam Javelin with Beam Effect part, a Slashing Beam Effect part for the Beam Sabers, a chain which can be turned into either the Gundam Hammer or the Hyper Hammer, and an Action Base number 7 with an attachment piece to hold on to the Gundam Hammer / Hyper Hammer. And for more Gunpla news, it has been announced that on August the 17th, the Real Great Zeong Special Coating version and Master Grade Zaku Mass Production Type Rico Custom will become available at the Gundam base. The Rico Zaku goes for 4,620 yen, 32 US, and the Zeong goes for 13,200 yen, 90 US. A pretty penny to pay for a model kit with a pretty coating. And then for the high-grade Zagok Gundam Seed Freedom version, Gundam has an interesting poll going on right now. Until August the 25th, fans can vote on which scene they want on the box of the model kit. So I will definitely have that poll down below. Our other piece of big news then was the newest trailer for Gundam Requiem for Vengeance, which is also linked down below, just in case you haven't seen it yet. Although, for me, it didn't really change my perception of the whole series. The voice acting and the way the characters are animated are still at best, but at least the environments and the mobile suits and also their mobile suit battles do look really cool. And we also got some new menacing scenes with that main Gundam. We've got the Gundam just standing there with the gem, which is enough to really exude that threatening aura that it has. And then we've got the final shot of the Gundam looking just straight into the camera with one destroyed eye. And it is so uncanny in exactly the perfect way for that scary feeling they're going for. Then we've also got some cool goof action, and we also got introduced to the new Zaku. The Zaku 2 Unidentified type Solari custom, piloted by our main character, Solari. And they also immediately announced that it is getting a Gundam Universe figure in December for 4,950 yen, 34 US. I don't think it's going to win any beauty pageants, but there is something cool about the modifications done to it. The mono eye has been reinforced with a rail, it has tank treads to add extra armor to the torso, and it has a double shoulder shield to offer better protection against beam weaponry. And it's also a bit of a Frankenstein machine, being made with parts from different machines, but thanks to their mechanic, it is still performing on the same level as a standard Zaku. And what they also announced is that the series will be launching on October the 17th, and that alongside it, they will be releasing a game about the series within Fortnite. So it's going to be a team deathmatch, with the players of course being split into Zeong and the Federation. And then once one side has scored enough points, the mobile suit of their respective side can be activated to wreak havoc upon the enemy. For the Zeong side, this is the Zaku Solari custom, and for the Federation side, this is the Gundam X. I would argue that one of these two is significantly more scary, but I digress. And this also isn't the only thing coming to Netflix, because it has also been confirmed that Gundam Seed Freedom will be coming to the US Netflix on September the 1st. They haven't said anything about other regions yet, but I assume that they will follow suit soon. And if they don't, you can simply use a VPN service like NordVPN to get access to it anyways. And if you don't have it yet, you can simply use the link down below or the code kkrt to not just get a sweet discount, but to also support the channel. In the figure news then, the Robot Spirits Duel Gundam Assault Strike version anime went up for pre-order on Premium Bandai, where it also commands the premium price of 11,550 yen, 79 US. But fortunately, it does come with a nice array of accessories. You get the base Duel Gundam, 2 beam sabers with beam effect parts, the beam rifle also with beam effect part, the shield, the assault shroud parts with opening missile launcher and effect part for the railgun, and a bunch of optional hands, all of which will be rushing your way in December. Even more expensive then is the metal structure Kaitai Shouki new Gundam optional part set, which goes for 46,200 yen, 315 US. And that is a conversion rate with the weak yen in mind. It comes with a prototype beam rifle, a prototype shield, a left and right income unit, 4 incomes, fin funnel joint effect parts, beam sabers for those giant new beam sabers, a pedestal to put everything on, and a variety of in-scale figures, being 2 generic mechanics, October, Chan, and then one figure that I think might be Bright. It looks like there's a character with his uniform in the picture, but he isn't listed amongst the content, so maybe that's just one of the generic mechanics. And of course, the new Gundam itself and the fin funnels are sold separately. And going from one expensive figure to another, we have the Jumbo Soft Vinyl SD Sazabi, which goes for a whopping 21,780 yen, 149 US. After they announced the new Gundam, I wondered where they were going to go next, and it seems like the rival mobile suits is what they'll be doing next. So maybe next up is going to be a Shard Zaku 2 or something like that. But before that, this Sazabi comes with a beam shot rifle, a beam tomahawk, a shield, and limited articulation. But even though this is a standard release, if you get it through P Bandai, you will also get a limited nameplate. And both versions will be shipping out in November. And finally, somewhere in between an action figure and a model kit, we have all of the details for the G-Frame Full Armor Kowloon Gundam. It is going to be Premium Bandai Limited, which means that its price is going to be pretty painful for what we're getting. It goes for 5,995 yen, 41 US, and it comes with a bunch of scarf options, a beam scarf, an optional front skirt for when he's riding Funsaiki, an action base, and a variety of hand options, including the Kowloon figure, which is a figure exclusive feature that this thing has. And keep in mind, even though this price is significantly lower than the figures we just went over, this figure is slightly smaller than a 144 scale high-grade figure. And this thing will be kicking your ass and your wallet in December. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, the two biggest things were the Gundam Battle Operation 2 6th anniversary celebration, with festivities continuing all the way until August the 22nd, and the announcement of a second open network test for Gundam Breaker 4, which will be held on August the 10th and August the 11th. I didn't see any time slots yet, so I'm assuming they will be announced really soon, but they did already announce that it will again only be held on the console versions. And alongside this, they also announced some new units that will be in the game, being the Chaos, Abyss, Gaia, Dongzhuo Providence, and Jim 2 Semi-Striker, and they'll also have a promotional card in Gundam Arsenal Base, which will be handed out from August the 10th to the 18th. And talking about Gundam Arsenal Base, they got a summer promotion where you can snag some cards featuring summery Gundam girls. There's Chris, Sarah, Mirai, the three Astray girls, Rue, Lady Un, Ayame, another Ayame, and 3 secret cards. Plus, there's also a Bear Guy family promotional card, which also features Mirai. And in other news, in Japan, a special program will be aired on August the 4th for Gundam's 45th anniversary, appropriately named the Gundam 45th Anniversary Party, and they announced that for the Gundam manholes installed in the following cities and towns, that they will be handing out special cards. There is Engaru in Hokkaido, Mutsu in Aomori, Toyota in Aichi, Kashiwara in Osaka, Kyotango in Kyoto, Ibara in Okayama, and Izumi in Kagoshima. As for the things you could get this week and last week then, from the 26th you could get the 7 Gundam Seed acrylic stands from Namco arcades across Japan. And as you can probably remember, the artwork used on these things is taken from the Gundam Seed Series Grand Prix 2024, which was the popularity contest for the characters and the mobile suits of the Gundam Seed series. And at around the same time, 2 new Gachapon sets also became available. The first one is the 7th mobile suit mechanical bust, being the Sazabi, and the deal here is the same as always. One pull is 500 yen, around 3 US, and there are 3 different sets. A regular armor set, a clear armor set, and an inner frame set, which also comes with the light up function for the mono eye. So for a full figure, you will need at least 2 pulls. And then the second set is the 27th lineup of Mobile Suit Ensemble. They also go for 500 yen a spin, 3 US, and the available machines are the Rising Freedom Gundam Expansion Set, Schwarzed, Zagok, the regular one from UC, not the Freedom one, and a weapon set that comes with a little bit for every machine. So to get a fully featured Rising Freedom, you're going to need at least 3 pulls. And from August the 1st, we got yet another Gachapon set, a restock of the Gundam Machibouke figures. They go for 400 yen a spin, also around 3 US. The available machines are the Agai, Zaku 2, RX-78-2, and Vanilla Jim, and the name is like a reference to the fact that they're sitting around waiting to finally launch. Going back to July the 27th then, when we got 2 figures and 1 model kit. For the figures, we've got the Robot Spirits Buster Gundam version anime, which went for 11,550 yen, 79 US, and the Robot Spirits Rig Diaz Quattro Vegeta Colors version anime, which went for 9,900 yen, 67 US. And for the model kit, it was the pre-sale for the Real Grade RX-93FF New Gundam Clear Color version at Gundam Side F, which is limited to Gundam base members. It goes for 4,950 yen, 34 US, is a clear version of the regular Real Grade RX-93FF New Gundam, which you can also see in the background, and it is not certain yet if it is going to be released at the Gundam base. And finally, the Aqueous colors Black Knight Squad Black and Gyanstrom Agnes Custom Blue were released for 380 yen apiece to US. As for this week's reading material then, there was the September issue of Model Graphics, featuring a bunch of really nicely customized Gundam seed kits, the September issue of Hobby Japan, featuring brush techniques to help you with weathering your Gunpla, the September issue of Shonen Sunday Special, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, Big Comic Superior, in which Gundam Thunderbolt is being serialized, the September issue of Gundam Ace, in which a bunch of Gundam manga are being serialized, the 14th issue of Gundam Forward, featuring a special on the Gundam F90 A to Z project, so look forward to learning the alphabet with Gundam. Then the 15th chapter of the Battle Chronicles of Flanagan Boone was released online, as well as the 4th and 5th chapter of the G Gundam novel. We got an analysis of Gundam Unicorn and Gundam Narrative, which aims to explain Laplace's box and Benager's journey. We got a new mobile suit encyclopedia, this time featuring Titans and Axis mobile suits, meaning that I should really try to pick up a copy of this book. And finally, we also got a bunch of tankobon volumes. Volume 20 of Gundam Aggressor, Volume 13 of Gundam NT, Volume 13 of Moon Gundam, Volume 3 of Gundam Pulitzer, Volume 1, 2, and 3 of G Gundam Remaster Edition, the Gundam Seed Club 4, Freedom version and Gundam Seed Club 4, Justice version, and the 4th volume of the Witch from Mercury novel. On to the apparel news then, where Bunkore kicked things off with a bunch of Gundam Seed pre-orders. Again, featuring illustrations from the Gundam Seed Series Grand Prix 2024, featuring the Freedom Gundam, Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam, and Destiny Gundam Spec 2. You can get them on a t-shirt for 3,850 yen each, 26 US, a fully illustrated t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 30 US, a tapestry for 3,300 yen, 22 US, a vertical or horizontal bath towel for 3,850 yen, 26 US, or an acrylic keychain for 880 yen each, 6 US. From Turn A, meanwhile, pre-orders went live for some acrylic stands featuring the main cast. The regular size ones go for 1,320 yen, 9 US, while the big ones go for 2,750 yen, 19 US. And all of these Bunkore items are slated for a September release. Meanwhile, from Strig G, you can buy some UC-inspired t-shirts, featuring designs spanning from the original Gundam all the way to Hathaway's Flash. And they're going for 4,730 yen each, 32 US. And finally, they did another collaboration with the Kiss for some more Gundam Seed Freedom inspired jewelry. This time featuring the rings worn by Kigali, Lacus, and Orphe, each going for 13,200 yen, 90 US. All of them are slated for a mid-November release, with pre-orders going live as we speak, but they will also hit the physical Strig G stores at around the same time. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. A few weeks ago, Gundam.info wanted to know which mobile fighter we would love to see as a metal build figure. And in an almost obvious first place, we have the Devil Gundam Colony with 40.6%. But even though it won, I wouldn't hold my breath on it getting an actual figure release if I were you, because even in the article itself, they're saying that it would be a pretty big undertaking for the metal build line to actually make this thing. So I don't think it's gonna happen. In fact, if anything from this list is going to be made, I think the second place Gundam has more of a chance, simply by the virtue that it is a normal sized Gundam fighter. The Nether Gundam with 24.7%, which narrowly beat out the Mandala Gundam with 24%. And if I remember correctly, like when I covered the poll, the Nether Gundam was actually only in third place, like slowly catching up to the Mandala Gundam. So it's good to see that it went up to second place. And then all the way in last place with 10.7%, we have the Ashura Gundam. But that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.